As time trucks on, the struggle gets more and more real. Today I'm going to use the Tarte Toasted palette for the very first time. Oh, let me remember to turn down the lighting so I'm not too washed out. Hopefully you can see the makeup better. All right, I apologize for all the shadows everywhere. I'm going to do something about getting some background lighting soon. I also apologize for my first time to speak voice. It's really early in the morning. I'm going to get ready for work. Got to get going. So I'm already dressed for work, like I've already got my clothes on. We have a pretty busy day scheduled in the office. So I'm just gonna kind of pull myself together so I can get out the door. There's a couple different palettes that I could use today, but honestly, did I get the warm one? Today I'm gonna be using the Tartelette Toasted palette for the first time. Just popped in my head that this is the one I wanted to use today. I should have gotten something to pin my hair back. I'll be right back. Okay. If I could get my body to function, that'd be great. If my fingers could please just grip the thing so that I can move past this part, that'd be lovely. When your brain's telling your body to work, but your body don't respond right, you're just like, hello. Or at least me, I'm like, hello. Okay. I actually have several new things here in my collection that I'm gonna need to haul with you later today, if I can remember to do that this morning. But for today, I'm gonna just get ready for work really quick and check out this palette for the very first time. I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna start off though by doing my base makeup and using my current favorite foundation. My go-to has been this ABH ever since I finally got the shade right. But now I've gotten a little bit of sun and the shade is a little light for me. I thought about picking up a slightly darker shade, but I'll just use bronzer because I always end up with so much leftover foundation from each shade for half the year. When I get my light shade and my dark shade in a foundation, I end up with so much wasted product because half the year, it's obviously not gonna be the right color for me. And so I got one that was just a slight bit darker than I was when I first got it, but not too dark. So it was able to span the time of while I was still getting into summer, like the end of winter or whatever, end of spring into summer. And then now that I've been starting to really get some sun in summer, yeah, I'm just using bronzer to make it work. And so far, so good, thankfully. But until I put my bronzer on, it does look kind of funny. So just give me a minute here. I really love the way that foundation looks. It just goes on so lovely every single time. Gonna be using my oldest concealer in my collection again today. This is my Hooded Beauty. Should I use this or maybe the Too Faced? I did rearrange my makeup setup a little bit. I'm gonna use the Too Faced actually, so I'm gonna put this back. I'm gonna use the Too Faced. I'm using the shade Almond. Just a little bit because I don't want like a whole lot going on. This concealer is really, really full coverage. I can always add more. I'm gonna use this Sephora concealer brush that I have here. What number is it? There's the number. And I'm just gonna strategically put that right at the darkest point, the darkest part of my eye. I'm not gonna really like go down too far or too heavy. If I could not put my hair into my makeup, that'd be great. I've only had 1 cup of coffee, which I've been making my coffee less strong since I'm starting to drink more coffee than I was when I was just sitting at home chilling, you know. I only had 2 cups of coffee, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Hold on, is that right? No, I'd have 2 cups in the morning and then 1 in the afternoon occasionally. That's what I did. So anyway, and it was a rare occasion. But now I'm having coffee like a lot, like I'm not going to say all day long, because thankfully I don't have a caseload of 300 cases that are trial cases with discovery and stuff like that. Thankfully I'm not in that kind of a setup anymore. But so I still just drink coffee because I enjoy it and I'm working, and you know, when I'm thinking, I like having coffee in hand. Anyway, so I'm having like a couple of extra cups of coffee a day now than I was when I wasn't working. So I'm just trying to make my coffee less strong, is my whole point of that whole conversation. Maybe I should keep the strength of the coffee because we can see the results here within the conversation. Okay. I would say the concealer looks good. Let me zoom you in and give you a close-up. Real natural. You can hardly even see it, and it just covered up that little like dark area. I'm going to go ahead and set that with the Hourglass. The bad thing about having my clothes on already is that it's easy to get my clothes dirty. So since I just dumped out my Ulta haul, ooh, I'm going to use some of my new Ulta makeup today. Anyway, since I just dumped out my Ulta haul, I have these empty Ulta bags that I'm going to put over the lap of my black slacks. This is the Hourglass powder. I really like this specifically for under my eyes. I'm sure it's incredible for all over the face, but because I only have this teeny tiny little thing, I can't really get like my big giant brush in there. I have almost picked up a full-size one like 2 or 3 different times now when I've been inside the Ulta stores. But what's kept me from doing that is the fact that I am really, really wanting to like use my makeup up before I go and just buy other versions of it, just for the fun of buying them, you know, and trying them. So rather than to give in and buy the giant Hourglass powder, I am making good progress on my Huda Beauty. You can see the windowing. So it's really encouraging and makes me really motivated to just keep using my Huda Beauty. And I don't have a coffee here to worry about powder getting up into it. I just need to not breathe and not talk so that the powder doesn't go into my face. Thankfully, it's going that way and not into me. Yeah, so there's the progress so far on my powder, and that is why I haven't broken down to get one from the one from Hourglass yet, is because I really, really, really want to make progress on that powder. It's so like encouraging to see that much use. I am going to use my YSL blush again today and my double-sided MAC brush. I really like this brush even better than the one from Nikki LaRose as a blush brush. Try to figure out how I'm going to end up using that one from Nikki LaRose because it's just not my favorite. My hair could stay out of the makeup application, that'd be lovely. This brush has nothing on it. It's just a really, really soft, fluffy brush that I do like for either bronzer or powder, but today I'm using it just to buff in my blush and stuff. Okay, I need to do a little bit of bronzer, and then I'm gonna have to clean out my white hairs again. I'm gonna use my House Lab bronzer again today. I should have done the bronzer first. And lastly, I am going to use a little bit of highlighter. Where is my, oh, I washed it. I haven't put away my clean brushes yet that I had washed over the weekend. They're hanging still, even though they dried. So I just have the brushes that I had in my stash that weren't dirty to use still, which is fine. Okay. Back to the brush just to kind of buff everything in. Ooh, I almost forgot to do my brows. I have really been forgetting to do that lately. And honestly, I think I'm going to keep it super simple today and just do... Where's my brow wax? Somehow I lost my brow thing from 88. Yeah, somehow it got lost in the shuffle going back and forth to work. That's a bummer. I'm sure it will turn up, just not right now when I need it. Okie dokie. What else am I gonna use? I'm just gonna use the Fluff Up Brow Wax. At least it does hold my brows in place. Lightly. It doesn't make them feel real stiff or anything like that. It just kind of keeps them up and soft and fluffy. That one got a little bit too much pigment. Okay. I would say the face is good. I'm gonna just set my face real quick. And while that's drying, I'm going to wipe my hair off. All right. I do need to reclip my hair because it's falling. My hair is super, super soft and silky now that it's like all baby hair that's never been colored. Like I chopped off all of my previously colored damaged hair a long time ago and it's just been growing out on its own. What color lip am I gonna do today? It would be a nice day to do a red lip, but I do coffee all day long and I really don't want to deal with that. So let's see. I'm going to use my MAC Graige. And since I'm going to do a really warm, toasty look, I think I want to use one of the MAC lipsticks. Just for fun, I'm going to use this like warm brown. It's not a brown, is it? No. That was not the shade I was expecting at all. I should have like done a swatch and wear of all of these by now, but I just haven't. My bad. I've had a lot going on. All right, I don't know. So yeah, I feel like I do need more powder on my face. Okay. Now I'm probably ready to get into my eye look. If I could get the freaking lid on, that'd be lovely. I'm having a rough morning, guys. As time trucks on, the struggle gets more and more real. Okay. I'm going to start out by priming my eyes with my MAC paint pot and my Sigma E45. I just share what brushes I use in case you're curious. I'm never trying to tell you what kind of brushes you need to have, because you can literally do great enough makeup for any event with any range of price bracket of brushes. I mean, except for the really nylon, plasticky, cheap ones, you know, but like all the rest, they're pretty much good enough. And you can use whatever brush you want, however you want to, okay? That's what I've come to learn. You don't have to have BK Beauty like everybody else on YouTube does. You don't have to have Fude like some of us luxury makeup brush lovers have. You don't have to have MAC. You don't have to have Sigma. You don't have to have Morphe. You don't have to have any brand at all. You can literally do the 99-cent brushes from Shop Miss A, and they're good enough. Promise you. Okay. I do feel the need to just like buff that down a little bit. So I'm gonna just use this little brush from the Real Techniques Cherry Eye Brush collection. Oh, it's so soft. I love that brush. It's perfect for either like concealer or tapping down to get a nice flat base. Today I'm gonna use the Tarte Toasted palette for the very first time. I never ever, this is what the color story looks like. I never ever was drawn to this palette before because of the fact that I was not into warm tone eyeshadows. Oh, it's beautiful. I did always love the packaging and I was drawn to the palette physically, but then every time I looked at the color story, I was like, I don't like warm tones. However, now, because of the Natasha Denona, I need a warm palette. I love warm tones on me, and I'm more open to that just in my makeup preferences. So when the whole series of palettes in this older square packaging went on clearance, I picked up this palette for $10 at Sephora, inside my local Sephora store in December. So I've had this palette for 7 months, and I am about to use it for the first time. So this is, let me get rid of the plastic, hello. So this is what the palette looks like. I apologize for all the shininess. There we go. This is what the palette looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and just tap out my creases and get started with the look. Where's my eyeshadow brushes? So I'm gonna start off with this fluffy blender in the obvious light go-to shade. I mean, like some people start off darker, and I used to when I was like not doing my makeup for work, but I'm currently getting ready for work, and so I don't want the look to start off too intense, and I don't want it to get intense. So I'm just gonna start off with this really pretty warm light brown in the crease. Hold on, I have an itch. I'm using the Belly blender. I got this set on Amazon for $17. It's like a whole brush set. I got it that low for Amazon Prime Day. I think it usually goes for about 20 bucks, give or take a little bit. Anyway, they're pretty good brushes. I only don't like the brow brush because the brush part of that one is really sharp and hurts. Like the metal is too close to the bristles and it hurts your eye. Anyway, other than that, the brushes are really good. And they look really pretty and they feel really sturdy like the BK Beauty brushes. Anyway, now I'm going to, is this a satin? I can't tell. I'm gonna go into this next shade here and deepen it up. I really hope it's a matte and not a satin. Can't tell without glasses on. Oh yeah, it's a matte, thank goodness. Is it? I really don't know, I can't tell. Especially because I turned down the lighting. I think it might be a satin. I feel like there's a little bit of sheen there, I'm not sure. Oh, no, thankfully, it is a matte. What a beautiful color. And honestly, I do think it is a satin. I can't tell. Because it's got some reflective sheen to it. So I feel like it probably is a satin and not a matte. I just cannot see without my glasses on, even though I'm using an enlarged mirror. Welcome to middle age. Okay. That is really pretty. Just taking this big blender to soften everything in the crease. All right. Next, I'm gonna take this brush also from Belly. It looks kind of like a fat shader. And what color am I wearing? Beige. I'm going to use this really pretty plain champagne shade that matches the beige tone in the flex of my shirt. Yeah, this one's a satin, like a shimmer. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, that's gorgeous. Holy moly. That is it's got like a really pretty fiery, shimmery shift. Not really a shift, but just like a really beautiful, reflective color. Really pretty. Okay. That was an easy look. That's my favorite thing about Tarte palettes. They just come together so quick and easy. I love them so much. I'm going to use this little It shader into the cream shade here for my inner corner. And the brow bone highlight, just so there's not too much shimmer competing with the lid when people are looking at me up close, because I'm going to be dealing with clients all day. Okay, I'm going to use this little e.l.f. angled brush that people say is a dupe for the Rose & Ben E27, and it's not. I mean, it's shaped kind of similar, but it's super skinny, and the one from Rose & Ben is fluffy. So this is nothing like the one from Rose & Ben, just so you know. This is more what I would say a winged liner brush, and the one from Rose & Ben is more of like a detailed shader with a specific shape. Might have gotten a little carried away with the shadow liner. I should have used this pointed brush instead. I do not like the way that winged brush from e.l.f. does a winged eyeliner either. There. Just cleaning up the line a little bit with this sharper one. That really just got out of control. Why do I keep going out further and further, messing up my makeup? Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can just bring it in a little bit. Good God, let me see what I look like without the enlargement. Oh, it's not too bad. I'm gonna run with it and just put some brown liquid liner in that spot. Okay, I apologize if you can hear my husband in his meetings. There's some major stuff going down in his company that he's trying to repair. So, it's not his company like he owns it, but like his, where he works is what I'm saying. Okay, damn it. I need to get moving just in case that client shows up a little bit early. I want to be like already ready for the day. I wish Tarte did this kitten, their kitten two-sided liner in a brown. Okay. I love the way the eye look turned out for the day. Only used a few shades and it came out so pretty. I also need to curl my lashes really quickly. And just because I've been missing it a little bit, I'm going to use my lash curler today. I love the Real Techniques one too. It's great, but you know, I do miss this one. So I'm spreading the love between my faves. Okay. And for mascara, I am going to do the Lash Princess. Maybe I should have done the Charlotte Tilbury. Okay. Oh my God, that just flaked off onto my face. I'm gonna have to let that dry and flake it off. But that's exactly why I wanted to add more powder to my face. I just didn't know what was gonna happen with this palette or whatever. And if anything flaked down, I wanted to be able to wipe it away. Okay, so this mascara must be getting old since it's starting to flake down when I apply it, because that doesn't normally happen to me with Lash Princess at all. Yeah, that's not it, sis. Let's see if I can remove that real quick. Nope. So we're going to then do some foundation. There we go. That helped. Perfect. Okay. Ooh, I love the look. Where's the palette? So here is the finished look using the Tarte Toasted palette for the first time. I hope you like the look. Let me show you which shades I used, just in case you fast forwarded or whatever. I used this shade all over the crease. I deepened it up with that shade there. I used this dark shade as a liner, like a shadow liner on the top and the bottom. And I used this shade here all over my lid. I did this in the inner corner highlight and the brow bone highlight, and that was the whole look. I then topped it off with some brown KVD liquid liner and my Essence Lash Princess mascara. The two shades that I created my lip look with today are this one and this one. Here they are. Here's the names. Let's see if I can get them to face the same way at the same time. I don't know if you can see names or not. And I don't know which way is facing the right way. But those are the lipsticks if you like the color. I personally don't. I think I would have preferred a red lip. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of red over it. Better. I like that a lot better. Okay, so here is... Hopefully I don't have too many shadows on my face. There we go. Here's a close-up of the eyes. Let me turn the lighting up and then down. Here I am in some low lighting. Hopefully you can see the makeup better. All right. That's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while I got ready for work. I had so much fun creating this look and getting the chance to use my Tartelette Toasted palette for the very first time. I think I'm really going to enjoy that palette and get a lot of use out of it in the near future. So if you look forward to more looks with that, make sure you're subscribed to my channel because I'll be using that palette and a bunch of others from my collection to get ready for work and sharing looks that might inspire you to dig through your collection instead of buying new makeup all the time. It's fun to use the makeup that we have. So yeah, doesn't mean that I'm not buying new makeup. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Anyway. That's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you click the like button. It really does help my small channel out so much. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel before you go. It is absolutely free to subscribe to me. The subscribe button is down below, and I would love if you do that before you leave so that I can see you in my next video. Bye!